Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for your support to my channel with your wonderful comments. I so appreciate it, with your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. So great. Really makes me so happy and helps me to continue with these videos. My channel is all about the truth, having the courage to say the truth, sharing my wisdom and my knowledge, helping you to think critically, which is so necessary in this world. And I'm so happy that I made the last two videos about these murder cases and how they are being displayed and being showcased in the news, in the media, and how much people are using people's misery to make money out of it, to get publicity out of it. Please watch the two videos back to back. And I am so happy that I made these videos. Why? Because I will share with you two videos that came in the news, literally also back to back. And they are now literally discussing in the news how these cases being so discussed in the news and in the social media with little evidence and so affecting the public opinion before the trial, and how this can possibly affect a fair trial and how it possibly can affect to select objective juries. This is so critical, folks. I want you to please understand this. We have no idea what's behind the scenes. And as I said in my previous videos, the officials should stop. This includes the law officials, the public officials, people who are actively involved, high officials leaking bits and pieces to the media. And therefore, because it's in bits and pieces in the media, people on social media use these murder cases to make publicity and more just making stuff up in order to gain views, gain public maybe recognition, I have no idea, or make their mark somehow in the world with some publicity for themselves and making money out of it. But what you understand is the true law requires that everyone has equal rights for trial. I mean, if you don't understand the law, then just don't comment on law stuff. Listen, I am not a lawyer, but that's not rocket science. Just open the goddamn book and read about the law. I mean, again, I don't even have to have a law background or even to read the law to know that if you believe in equality, then you know it's the law to have an equal trial. Everybody has the right for it. And everybody has a right for a fair trial, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So, what is my suggestion? I will show you two videos where exactly, number one, this is being discussed in the news, in the outlet, media outlets that streams the crimes and the laws and the trials and all that nonstop. These two channels I will be talking about. Actually, I will show you the videos. And also, the second thing is what makes me so happy is actually the more we are talking about the sea, people are more and more coming out. Like my last video where the defense lawyer from that person in Massachusetts who is now being alleged to or being charged to kill his wife after her disappearance in Massachusetts. So his defense attorney, the statement, watch my video, what statement she gave out. She literally said that it should not be, people should shut the hell up on social media and people should stop, and the prosecutors, she literally said the prosecutors should not leaking this stuff. the second thing in what I will show you here, another person in this Idaho murder trial with Koberger, literally a restaurant owner, came out and put a statement up and said, what the hell are you guys doing? This is a wrong story. It's absolutely not true. You guys make this stuff up. Telling about the People's Magazine, who literally make this stuff up, apparently. And they were so angry. And I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I made these videos. I'm so glad that this now started to being discussed. And hopefully this will change something. So before I go into it, I want to quickly share with you what my suggestion is. If you follow all of these videos, my suggestion is to the media and to the law enforcement. So for law enforcement and for the law professionals, my suggestion is stop leaking information to the media. Shut the hell up until the person is in trial. Then, only then, the news outlets give us the trial. But not in a way it is so horribly publicized like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case trial. Trials should not be publicized like this. It affects the jury. The trial should not be live streamed. The reporters, like on other trials which are not so popular, the unpopular trials, are being reported that the reporter goes outside the courthouse and then reports, here, this and this and this happened, this person said this person said this, and that's it. That's what we all need to know. At the end of the day, we need to know if this person is a murderer or not, and who this person killed or killed not, and how they killed it, and that's it. We don't need these publicized trials, and because like in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, the more the trial is publicized and live streamed, which was a horrible mistake, the more the jury get affected. As much as they say, no, we are not affected. Screw that. Screw that. In this day and age, there's no way in hell. These people are not sitting for several months or a couple of months in a locked room. They go home. They come back. They go home. They come back. They go home. They come. Like, what are you talking about? So, again, these cases, trials should not be made live. The law enforcement, law professionals, prosecutors, defense, they should not leak bits and pieces of information to the media before the trial even happened or ever. Just later, after that person get either cleared or being charged, then, only then we need to know. The public. Stop feeding the people on media, on social media. This is hurting people's cases. And it is against the law because it's against the person's right. No one has the right to judge somebody without even have a clue. And another point I want to make, and I keep telling this for in so many areas, in majority of my videos, or pretty much all of my videos, that people are playing this psychologist more and more. Like, not only in this country, but in other countries too. Like, everybody is somehow a psychologist. And I will make another video about that. And literally, the lady, the defense attorney, who is an expert in defense trials, literally said that. She said, and we'll show you in a second, that people are playing psychoanalysis, doing this psychoanalysis, just digging into other people's lives and trying to put the pieces together. Like, what? And when you look at the first video I'm going to show you, watch that defense attorney, that expert's face. Watch her face. She's literally like, exactly, I'm 100% sure she shares exactly my feelings. She's laughing. She's like smiling because she's like, what the crap are you talking about? This is all crap. Yes. Like, look at her face because it's just so dumb, especially the DMs. Watch my first video about this, the DM statement. Especially that. Look at her face, like this expert. Look how she reacts. She's like, exactly. That person can be anybody. And that's literally the weakest point in the entire affidavit. It's not rocket science, guys. Like, come on. We should really stop feeding off of other people's misery. It is disgusting. It is against the law, against human rights. It's against humanity. Like, being a human being. Once again, I don't give a damn who is guilty, who is not guilty. That is not my point. My point is everyone has a right for a fair trial, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And there cannot be a fair trial if we have public opinion being manipulated this bad through social media, through all the leaking, through all the media outlets, so that the jury selection is being poisoned. Period. Also, the trials should not be live streamed. Period. Now let's get into the videos. Okay, here we go.
How tough is it for him to get a fair and impartial jury? Now, look, we've covered a number of high-profile cases here on Law and Crime, and we've seen trials. I'm thinking the Derek Chauvin case, a case that everybody in the United States and abroad knew about, and yet he had what I believed, I covered it, was a fair and impartial trial. You tell me, how tough is it going to be for Mr. Coburger to get a jury of his peers?
Look at her face. Literally, look at her face. She's smiling, literally.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge. I don't want to say it's an impossibility, but it's pretty close to that. Anytime you have a notorious crime or an individual who has been arrested and the public opinion is truly against him, at this point we've got people all over social media, in fact, trying to psychoanalyze him. It's not only that they've convicted him, they're even psychoanalyzing why, how, what was he thinking, and just literally going through his entire background, finding every little thing that they can find and making a big deal out of every little thing, trying to connect it all to basically support their belief that he did this. So Jesse, that this is going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be tough. Winning the public opinion battle is not the easy part here. I think, again, as counsel, the defense counsel has to focus on the case and try and convince a jury and pick a good jury. That's the first part. Picking the right jury. A jury that's not really influenced by any of this. Or a jury that can keep that separate from the deliberations and truly focus on the case. And make the best case possible in the case. What else can an attorney do, really?
Okay, let's focus on the legal case, the probable cause affidavit. I want to go through it with you. Now, we should make everything very clear that not only is Mr. Coburger innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence that we currently have is going to be, I would imagine, a lot more for the prosecution when a trial ultimately comes about. There's a lot that can happen between now and then, I think they probably have more evidence that they haven't revealed. Maybe they didn't need to reveal in a probable cause affidavit. So there's more that's going to come out, I imagine. Now, the evidence that was presented in the probable cause affidavit, DNA, cell phone, evidence about the car, the possible eyewitness identification by the surviving roommate, you had indicated, I think to Anjanette Levy, my co-host, on a previous sidebar, that there are holes in that affidavit. What are those holes?
Exactly.
Well, there's a lot of holes. If you start focusing on every single piece individually and try and show the weaknesses, then that's something that a defense attorney is going to do, right? Starting from the cell towers involved, where they're saying that we can show that he's been to the area at least 12 times. Well, that only shows which tower his phone used. It doesn't really specifically show you his location. He's only about, 8 to 10, 15 miles away from the crime scene, and he lives nearby, basically. And his phone could have picked up any one of those towers, unless they've got more. Again, there's other technology.
Exactly.
But let's just push on that for a second, because they said that he was near that area, near that crime scene 10, 12 times before, either late at night or early morning hours, like in the dead of night. Why those times? It's not like they picked him up 12 times in the middle of the afternoon at 3 o'clock. The times of when they picked it up is
Right.
what's so interesting.
The times are very interesting, but again, one of the questions I would ask as defense counsel or an investigator is there a reason for him to be there? Other than the obvious, right? Does he have a friend there? Is there someone he's visiting in the area? Or again, those hours where he's being picked up, are those, is it truly that because he's near the area, or he just happens to be out and his phone happened to use the cell tower? And remember, in the affidavit, they actually say that the cell tower showed that he was in the area, I believe on the 14th, it was one of the days, and that was inaccurate. They actually said it. They said in the affidavit that it was inaccurate. So it's not very reliable.
Let's focus on the cell phone data, because I think it was some of the most damning for him. So they have cell phone data that indicates that his cell phone leaves his house at 2:47 a.m. on the night of the murders. It stops connecting to the network for whatever reason. A presumption could be that maybe he turned it off. So it's off during the times of the killings, but then comes back onto the network at 4:48 a.m. after the killings, after police say the killings happened. And we know the combination of the cell phone data and the car data, the car that's picked up on surveillance video, shows it leaving Moscow and headed back to Pullman at Washington State University. So that's, again, how do you poke holes in that?
Again, it's obviously it's problematic, and I've always said it. Looking at evidence individually is very important, but we know what the prosecution is going to say, right? They're going to take all of them, put them together, and say, here, we're building a circumstantial case. Yes, there may be weaknesses in this evidence, there may be weaknesses in this one, but then when you put them all together, you can see a story and a theme, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, one of the things that defense can say is, wait a minute, there's a gap of maybe an hour or 2 hours from what I recall, right, where his phone is off. And you can't really place where he is. You don't know where he is. Well, you can make the argument that he turned it off. Is that enough, though? Where was he truly, based on the cell site information? You've got zero evidence as far as, based on the cell site information, as far as where he is at the time. Yes, I know we're reading more into it. Again, this is the circumstantial part of it. What do we derive from this evidence? Was he planning this? Did he shut his phone? Or maybe he was in an area that was a dead spot. I don't know. There may be an explanation here, and again, it requires more investigation and looking into all of this evidence.
More investigation.
And you can say, well,
nothing.
what was he doing? Well, if his phone was off, they also had what appeared to be his car making initial passes by the crime scene, by this house, multiple passes, and then the car is seen leaving the area and speeding away. I think at 4:16 a.m. or something around that time. So if you put the cell phone away, the car I think is problematic. Let's talk about what could be arguably the direct evidence. So the DNA evidence. This, for me, reading the probable cause affidavit, is the strongest evidence directly to him, right? So the idea that there was this sheath, that was a knife sheath, was left over at the crime scene next to one of the bodies. They took a DNA material from that sheath. They took a DNA sample from one of his trash, and they were able to create a DNA profile that matched the father of the suspect, right? And the probability is 90. I'll actually pull it up because I think the language of this is very important. They say, let me just pull it up here. Yeah, so they say at least 99.9998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. How do you fight against that evidence, the DNA evidence?
That's not an easy one, but there's other arguments. Instead of focusing on the science of it, for example, we can focus on how did that get there? Does he have any relationship with these people?
So many things
Was he at the apartment at all? Has he seen them? Has he at some point touched that sheath? Maybe at a store. Again, there's ways of explaining it, and we don't have enough evidence. I don't have enough access to some of the evidence, and I'm sure there's way more than what we've got. Nobody's ever talked about if there was any relationship between him and the individuals, the victims in this crime. So that's something to deal with. The other thing is that this is connecting him to his dad. It could be, I'm assuming there's ways of finding the DNA on scientifically, and that's a separate part. But again, you narrow it down to, I don't know, maybe 7, 8, 10,000 people who could fall into that category of a match to his father, right? It's not just him. There's more people. But again, I think the better argument is, was there a relationship? Did he happen to touch this previously? And that would be the best way to handle it.
And right now they've indicated that there's no established connection between him and the victims. It seems like a complete stranger who, we mentioned the 12 times before the cell phone, was tracking him. Was it possible that he was following them and stalking them? That's the allegation. Before I let you go, we have about a minute left. The possible eyewitness identification from the surviving roommate. She wakes up, she sees a man clad in black mask.
Look.
Her description seems to match that of Koberger. She couldn't it wasn't a positive identification.
Look at her face.
She eyebrows, his build, the way she describes it matches him. How strong of evidence is that? And can you poke holes in her possible testimony in the trial?
I don't think it's the strongest evidence. Bushy eyebrows is something very common, just like the Vans that they were talking about is very common. That's not really IDing somebody. She's just saying he's dressed in black and his face is covered, his mouth is covered, his nose is covered. So how is she going to ID him? What are they going to do? A lineup with people with masks? I just don't see that as very strong. It's just one more little piece that the prosecution can use in their circumstantial evidence case. That's all it is. But of course you can see the defense having a field day with that one.
Yeah, look, I mean, the idea of was she in a traumatic state? What does she exactly remember? How dark was it in the house? And the only thing I'll say to support her claims, her description of the suspect was before Koberger was even on their radar. So it's not like she went into a room and said, "Oh, yeah, that's what I remember." Her description, she gave a description, and then it was only later on that they came up with a suspect, and it so happened that who they saw matched up to that initial description. Lara Yeretsian, thank you for coming on.
Wow, I don't know what to say. It's exactly what I was saying all along. Now let's move to the second video. That's a crazy one. That's even actually more a crazy one.
Late update here, late breaking update to the story that we brought you last night, where People magazine had said that they had found a restaurant employee of the Mad Greek restaurant in Idaho who confirmed that Brian Koberger had been in that restaurant a couple of times, ordered a vegan pizza, had some strange requests, and that really gave us the nexus to the victims in the Idaho killings. But the woman who runs and owns the Mad Greek restaurant is pushing back, Jackie Fisher. She is saying the news media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from People. It's not true. However, I will say this, People magazine talked to a former employee of the restaurant, and an investigator, a source of theirs, confirmed that it was true. So that's tricky, and we'll have to navigate through all of that. But I can't think of a better example of the full saturation news coverage of sensational cases that keeps us all on the edge of our seats, but at the same time possibly poisoning a jury pool. That can happen. Susan Constantine knows this well because she's a jury consultant.
Okay, before I move further, which is not much, but she does not read the whole statement. I will read it to you. And you just saw it. So the owner of Mad Greek said this: the news media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to this story from People's Magazine. It is not true. This person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and the investigators. I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. There you go. That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what I've been talking about in my last 2 videos. That's why I wanted to show this to you. I'm so happy that they're now speaking out and saying how crazy it is and even harmful, literally harmful it is to throw out these stories in the media, in the news, on the social media, so that it literally harms the investigation and the families are more hurt because of some made up stories. Guys, these people's children are being killed. Like, do you understand that? Like, screw your money, screw your, as this person said, 5 minutes of fame. Screw that. These people's children have been killed. And another person who we still don't know what the deal is in custody, is being charged with murder. His life is gone forever. We just don't know all the background information, all the background investigation. So people should shut the hell up. This includes the public and the media and the officials. That's it. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a big like and share this video with others. Comment down below, what do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me or not? Let me know. I'm very curious about this. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.